Alright, so last week I talked about how this episode was potentially going to be like the real start of the arc. So, because the whole thing with what's currently going on with like essentially what's a war arc between the heroes and the villains, it's been pretty good with some really solid character moments, and then also the episode with Twice and Hawks was also really good, but a lot has been like building up to a specific moment, and it's been trying to like get to this specific point where it's trying to have like this big climactic moment that really kicks things off into a specific towards a specific direction, because so far basically the heroes have been on the offensive, right? They've had they've been one step ahead of the villains this entire arc so far, since the beginning, since it started, and the villains need to go ahead and do something to counteract that. They need to do something to really get their gears going and really get the one up, essentially. And last episode we saw that Shigaraki was now completely awake towards the end, and he was going to do something. We didn't know what exactly he was going to do in that moment, but, or at least I don't know, because I didn't read the manga. And something I mentioned in last week's episode review as well is like the dude that was there, I think his name was like X-Less or something, I forgot what his name was. He sees a machine and it's powered on, and it looks like it's sort of connected to the wires that's like near the liquid that Shigaraki was in, which if the electricity had touched the liquid substance on the floor, it would have woken him up. And I made the critique of like, why didn't he like destroy the machine sooner? Like, what was he doing? At the beginning of the episode, it shows that he actually did destroy it, but somehow there was still an electrical current running through the wires that still got onto the liquid substance on the floor, and it woke Shigaraki up. So it might have been from a different machine. There might have still been like a small electrical current flowing through the wires or whatever the fuck they are in that instant, and it woke him up. And of course, the immediate first thing that Shigaraki does when he wakes up is kill the hero that's there with him. X-Less, I think that's what his name was, completely decays him completely. Nothing is left of him besides his freaking drip, so his cape, and Shigaraki grabs it and covers himself up with it. I was like, damn, that's just disrespectful. And we get a couple other moments in the episode before like the big thing happens, which we're gonna talk about in a little bit. So we see Tokoyami go and save Hawks. And I talked about this before. I don't remember if I actually did or not. I'm just saying that I did. I really like Tokoyami and how he finally has like this hero that he really connects with, because All Might, everyone likes All Might, but everyone really connects with a particular hero, on a personal, deep level. And Tokoyami really does that with Hawks. And I really like that we got to see more of that in this episode, so I did enjoy that. They deal with the high-end Nomus back at the hospital where Shigaraki still is, and they deal with them. Everyone's there, they're all doing their thing. And then of course like Midoriya and everyone else in the city are trying to evacuate all the citizens because of literally what's about to happen later on in the episode. So Shigaraki wakes up, and then Midoriya specifically, he's like hearing a voice inside of his head, and he's hearing the voice of the original wielder of One for All, the first wielder. So it was All for One's younger brother. I think it was his younger brother. And he's hearing a voice, and he's like telling him that he's coming this way and this and that and yada yada. He's basically telling Midoriya that Shigaraki is on his way, and he's about to do something very destructive. Because as we know, Shigaraki is now the new wielder of All for One. So he is very powerful. He can steal other people's quirks. On top of the quirk that he already has, he has increased strength, speed, stamina, and all this other type of BS. And basically just right then, in a freaking instant, Shigaraki uses his decay quirk and completely destroys the entire hospital. Destroys everything within the hospital besides like his immediate surrounding area, like where he's standing. Takes out a couple of the heroes as well, which really surprised me. I think one of them, something Crust, I don't remember what his name was, but he was able to like create shields on his forearms. He's dead, and he like sacrifices himself so that way Eraserhead is able to escape from the hospital because he was about to get he was essentially about to be taken out along with a Nomu. Everything's all fucked up. So Shigaraki destroys the immediate like area that he's in, which is the hospital. But because he's like super amped up, he doesn't just destroy the hospital. It starts going like towards like the wilderness and towards like the city, and it's like completely decimating all of the buildings and roads and everything around it. And it's starting to get towards our main characters, and they're trying to like get the people out for the city as quickly as possible, and they're trying to do it, you know, in a like as quickly as possible because the freaking decay is like really on its way. Midoriya tries to stop it with his quirk, but it doesn't do anything. He has to end up getting saved by Todoroki, and like the whole time as this was happening, right? Like I haven't like felt this from My Hero Academia in a while, but I felt really tense, right? I felt really tense because now it's like something big just really happened. Like we're really seeing just how formidable and scary Shigaraki is, which I really like, because I think last season it was supposed that's what they were trying to portray with like the My Villain Academia arc from the previous season, but I didn't really feel that way. It just sort of felt like we got to see more character growth and backstory from Shigaraki, and then his quirk just also happened to improve, but that's about it. I didn't really feel anything towards him in that arc, and I didn't feel like more, I guess, threatened by him. But here in this episode I really did. I felt really tense, and like now that he's like properly unhinged, I guess you can say, when especially with how powerful he is and the fact that he has Giganto Mankia around to help him like do whatever bullshit. He also releases him like out to go and like fight heroes, by the way, at the end of the episode. The villains right now are like, you know, they were on the back foot, but now they're stepping forward and they're they are on the offensive, and it's kind of genuinely scary, right? Like, and there's only one person who can really deal with this, the one who's really meant to do anything about it, and it's Midoriya. We see in the previews that Endeavor is going to fight Shigaraki, but we already know he's probably not going to be able to do a whole lot, so it's going to have to end up being the new wielder for All for One versus the current vessel for One for All. They're going to have to fight against one another, and this is going to be a huge moment, obviously, because this is like the big thing that's been kind of like brewing and building up since like the finale of the first season, that these two were going to meet each other again and they were going to fight, except it was going to be on like a completely different scale, and it certainly is now, because Shigaraki is way more powerful than he has ever been, and Midoriya has only gotten way stronger with his quirk since the first season, and he's now communicating with the previous vessels for One for All, and he's going to eventually learn how to use their powers and use their quirks. So some really crazy things are about to happen in the next few episodes, and I'm really excited to see it. And I think that's kind of where I really want to end it off, you know? Just, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next. I was genuinely really impressed with this episode, and I was like, damn, this is where things start getting really good, isn't it? I really hope so. And I really hope that the animation is also up to par as well, because I felt personally, in like the last season, they didn't really do the best job that they could have. No disrespect to the animators, but it sort of felt like there was a lot of potential that they didn't utilize. There was a lot of missed potential in the previous season. I really hope that they don't do that for this one, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening next. Really quick at the end of the video, I want to say go check out my last YouTube short, because I essentially, I guess, quote-unquote, rank the previous My Hero Academia seasons, and the video is actually doing really well. So if you haven't seen it already, please go check it out. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts are about, I guess, that quote-unquote ranking in the comments of that video. I'm really interested to see what you have to say. Let me know your thoughts on this episode and this video's comments, because I'm really interested to see how people felt about it, whether or not you read it in the manga or you just saw it right now in the anime. Really interested to see. But besides that, I have nothing else pretty much to say. So if you liked the video, be sure to like, and if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.